We're here with 3 powerhouses in the lean sector.
Some people saved money, made more profit. Recently, we've had a company who saved 8 weeks of production time.
We need to put them in the best position to survive, be flexible, be productive, be agile.
There's no substitute for direct observation. To see the turnaround of his company is just mind-blowing.
Tools and technique, that's the easy bit. It's getting your leaders engaged, motivated, and being able to sustain it. That's the real challenge.
Hello, it's Ryan.
Let me repeat that for you. Tools and techniques are the easy bit. It's getting your leaders engaged, motivated, and able to sustain it. That's the real challenge. Now, let me just make sure. Yes, we have got. Just set a couple of things up here. Didn't quite kick off properly. We'll get on track right now. All right, today, luck. How you create, manufacture, engineer. What do you want to call it? Your own luck. This came about because of this book, The Compound Effect. The complete formula for getting lucky. We're going to run through it today and how it ties back to being a catalyst. All right, so the complete formula is preparation, personal growth, reading, listening, watching, stuff like this. Attitude, opportunity, action, and luck. I'm even going to show you how and when it worked for me. But first of all, I'll tell you who this is for. Then we're going to look at the actual structure, how we create our own luck. And you can take this one of 2 ways, right? Luck is something you create, whether it's good or it's bad. I'm not saying some people don't get unlucky and have a terrible run. That happens. But if you look back, I'm looking back after reading this, at every point in my life where I've been lucky, specifically when I stepped up, when I went from the example I give in this post, went from being a pipefitter to a superintendent inside 3 months. There was a luck that played a hand in that, but it was also because I'd followed, inadvertently, without even knowing, I'd followed these steps right here. All right, so have a look at that, show the process, show why it works, make an offer if you want to join what you can see up in the top corner there, the Catalyst Academy. Even if you don't, head across, join construction school, skoll.com/scrum, SCRUM. You can get started on this by yourself. You don't need to work with me to do this, to start creating your own luck. Page 31. When I asked Richard Branson, now, if he felt luck played a part in his success, he answered, yes, of course. We're all lucky. If you live in a free society, you're lucky. Luck surrounds us every day. We're constantly having lucky things happening to us, whether we recognize it or not. I have not been any more lucky or unlucky than anyone else. The difference is when luck came my way, I took advantage of it. All right, so who is this for? This program, the Catalyst Academy, or anyone can take this and use it, but this is who I'm specifically speaking to today. These are people who are in the construction industry and you feel like you get overlooked, or someone else seems to be luckier than you are. They seem to get all of the breaks. You haven't seen what they've done in the background to get those breaks. What you need to make sure is that when it's your turn, when the luck turns up, you're prepared and ready to go. So it's for the people who want to be catalysts. You might be on the tools, you want to get leading in supervisor, senior to superintendent to CM, on and on and on it goes. That's the other program that I've got on the board at the moment, is Align Your Team Before Christmas. Head across, if this isn't for you, head across to ambitioustarget.com and have a look at that. But these are the people that we're speaking to today. The catalysts out in the paddock. Ones I call a lot of the time are the troublemakers who get overlooked. If you all fit in that category, follow this process. This will turn the luck your way. All right, let's crack into it. So straight out of it, it says number 1 is preparation is the first step of creating luck. Preparation comes down to this flywheel effect that we speak to here. I've been speaking to all week. All right, it comes back to what Keith Cunningham's the 3 pillars of success. Plan your day before it starts. Have a measurable output, what you're doing, and hold yourself accountable. Okay. Give your results to someone to keep you accountable. Have a wingman. We're using AI at the moment. So pillar 1 is we're going to plan with flex. Not going into that today. Pillar 2 is measurable output. So the output anyone that comes to the Catalyst Academy, the first thing that I'm going to go and tell them to do is go and run 10 ORCA sessions. Don't care if you're on the tools, just take it and use it as part of your day. When something doesn't quite run the way that you want it to, look at what was the objective, what we're trying to achieve here, what results did we get, what caused us to hit the issue that we're hitting, what are the actions that we're going to take to correct this. You can do that. You can write it in a notebook, and on a piece of paper, on a scrap piece of paper, I don't care. Write it on the back of an envelope. You can use the AI like I do. If you want to get hold of that, my chat GPT, just message me ORCA Wingman, GPT, so I know what you're looking for, link, and I'll send you that. That's the first thing I'm going to tell anyone to go and do. Go and run 10 ORCA sessions. Do that. Get that first piece of the puzzle in place. That is part of the preparation. That's the output that you want to measure. We spoke to yesterday measuring outputs versus outcomes. I'm not going to go into that today, but we're measuring that output, and the output is, have you done 10 ORCAs? Have you done your reps? Pillar 1, that's how we prep. Second one is your attitude. I've been told more than my fair share of times that I have a bad attitude. In fact, when I left school, when my English teacher, well, my young brother, he's 4 years younger than me, he came along to high school 2 years after I'd left. And she looked at the roll at the start of the year and went, Nathan Bean. And he said, yep. And he said, she said, are you Adam Bean's brother? And he went, yep. And she said, I hope you're nothing like him. He was a real troublemaker. She actually said to me when I left, good luck, Adam, you're going to need it. So, I digress. Attitude means we are ready to go. We don't have to have necessarily a good attitude all the time, but there's some things that we need to do. We need to be what Steph Curry calls shot ready. In the moments of failure, you have to acknowledge whatever happened so there can be room for growth. This is one of the great quotes out of that book. The other one is, that I love that Steph says, is he said, don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. I'm also going to play you this video we're going to search for right now. Of course, it's not going to search very well, but I want to try and do it when we're running. Alexis, who is an Olympian. Oh, are you kidding me? I actually did all this, had this prepped and ready to go, and it all ran fine. And this is actually a great segue into this, because stuff goes wrong all the time at the moment. How are you not finding that post? Oh, because I'm not in community, that's why. Okay. Rule. I didn't prepare properly, right? Rule number 1. So, no dickheads. Full remote project management. Which one describes you? Thirsty Thursday. Rough week. You're right on track. I don't have any preparation right for this one. Third of the time, you're going to feel great. Third of the time, you're going to feel average. Third of the time, you're going to feel like crap. But attitude makes a difference.
Chasing a dream or doing anything hard, you're meant to feel.
Let's take it back to the start. Jesus Christ, Benny, you did not prep for this very well at all. Let's go.
My Olympic coach told me after a particularly challenging workout where I could not hit my splits before going to the Rio Olympics that was okay. It was the rule of thirds, and he was an Olympian, so I always soaked in everything he said, and I was like, what's the rule of thirds? And he said, when you're chasing a dream or doing anything hard, you're meant to feel good a third of the time, okay a third of the time, and crappy a third of the time. And if the ratio is roughly in that range, then you're doing fine. So today was the crappy day along your dream chasing.
Right.
And if the ratio is off, like you feel too good all the time or too bad, then you got to look at if you're fatiguing or not trying hard enough or pushing yourself.
So 2/3 of the time, we feel like we're not having any luck. What happens? We let that take over, and the luck diminishes even further. All right. So what we're going to do is, that all comes back to, of course, as our mate talks to here, attitude. We're not going to practice until we get it right. We're going to practice until we can't get it wrong. That's what you're going to do with your ORCA sessions. You're going to realise that 2/3 of the time, luck's going to be running against you. When luck goes your way is because you've stacked the odds in your favour for something lucky or good to happen. We're going to look at this from the perspective of, regardless, and this ties into opportunity a little bit as well. I'm going to talk to this in a minute. This project we're on, it could be a bit of a shit show, a real shit show, a complete another shit show, or the 4th level, which is complete another cluster, you know what. That's our opportunity, okay? Our opportunity is, when it looks like this, is we're not going to accept this. Our attitude is, we're going to practice till we can't get this wrong, and we get to 98% flawless execution. Which looks, we're going to set the standard. We're going to be 600% better than everyone else.
The world is dysfunctional. Organizations are highly dysfunctional. And those people that do lean correctly, no one can touch them. The differential is not, 50%, 100%, it's 600%. They dwarf everyone.
All right, so we've covered the first step. We know what we need to do to prep. And we don't do this when we feel like it. We don't do this on the up day. What we say, it goes in thirds. Third of the time we're average, third of the time it's going against us, third of the time we're feeling really good. Luck is created when we do this on those 2 other days when we feel like we've got no luck working for us. So the opportunity then, when it comes along, we're ready to go. What does that look like? What are we supposed to do? In this video, I'm talking to Jason asked me a question. He says, what's a PM's true role? This goes across the board. If you want to get to the PM spot one day, you don't want to get to the PM spot one day. I don't care. If you're on the tools and you want to get to the leading hand one day, this is what you need to do. It's the same skill. It's the same skill that'll move you from tools to leading hand, apprentice to tradesman, tradesman to leading hand to supervisor, supervisor to senior supervisor. You can get everyone heading in the same direction, moving from shit show to flawless. When opportunities present themselves, you've set yourself up to be lucky.
This is a big one, and I've asked a project executive that I respected a lot what the answer to this one is, but I'm going to ask you. When you think about the real objective of a project manager, going back to that loop, what is their actual mission so that we can bring it home for the listeners?
Okay, so the actual mission is, I'd go back to the book by Patrick Lencioni, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, and a quote in there that says, if you could get all of the people in an organisation rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any industry, any market, under any conditions, at any time. If you could get everyone, the PM's job is to get everyone headed in the same direction. If he could do that, you'll build any project under any circumstances, ever gets thrown at you at any time. That's my opinion. In my opinion, that is his number 1 job.
I love that, and kudos to you for pronouncing his name right. I always get that wrong.
You want to be lucky? You want to be a catalyst? That is your number 1 job. Everyone that you're working with don't have to be working for you. You don't need any level of authority to be able to do this, to make this work. It works regardless. Your job is to get everyone heading in the same direction. Whether it's 2 of you working together, tradesman and a TA, TAs working together, whatever it is. You start creating, moving your little piece that you're working on, wrong shit show, up to flawless execution. Luck's coming your way. All right. Action. How do we do this? Inside, you can either go, you can go to constructionschool.com, skool.com/scrum. You can join that community, as you'll see here, for the highly expensive price of free. Everything you need to know to be able to get yourself going, the first skill that you need to be able to master is ORCA. That's the skill that will start everyone with, regardless of where they sit or where they want to go. Start them with, how do you do an ORCA debrief? If you go here to when you get inside school and you go to 90 days of ORCA, funnily enough, right there, I'm doing them live every day on LinkedIn at the moment, just to show how powerful what Keith Cunningham calls the 3 pillars of success. So 3 pillars of success, you amp it up with ORCA, supercharge it with AI, and we're going to introduce flex planning into it as well very, very soon, today actually. When you get that and you get that flywheel spinning, you watch the luck that comes your way then. Okay, so you could go in there and have a look at all those replays are in there. You can go in there, start doing that yourself. Start posting in there, sharing what you're doing, put videos up, whatever you want. Go ahead, knock yourself out. The other thing that I do is, if you want to move even faster, I've got what's known as the Catalyst Academy in there, where I'll get on calls, where you can do lives inside the construction school community, okay? So I'll step you through the process. This is how I do it, this is what happens. If you've got issues going on site, you go, hey Benny, we've got hit this problem. This is what's going on. What would you do here? Live twice a week. Well, it's where that's going. It'll be a group environment because you learn more by not just doing yourself. It should be see one, watch something, ORCA, do one, go and do an ORCA, and then teach one. Teach someone else to do it. So you learn just as well by sharing what you're doing. It reinforces for you. What's going on? That's the action. Head across to school. Simply by doing that, you start picking up the skills that you need to move from a bit of a real or complete not a shit show. You start learning how to use school becomes an interface. You start experimenting with little things, which helps your site. You become the wingman for your PM. It creates autonomy for you and it'll create autonomy for the people around you. It starts to become social when you're sharing with everyone. It builds community and crowd. Particularly like us guys, we work away a lot on FIFO. This here, vitally important. It's probably the most important of the lot. It's a leverage asset. It's not really that relevant today, but it creates engagement with your team. This is how you create flow. The first step is to learn how to debrief properly with the ORCA session. ORCA. 3 pillars of success, plan with flex, measurable output, which is have you done your daily debrief. That's what's known as a pact. Do that debrief, we supercharge it with AI. I'll do a live this afternoon that you can watch on how we supercharge it with AI. In the start of this, it said if you can get your leaders engaged, motivated, and able to sustain it, that's your real challenge. If you're waiting for someone else to get you engaged, motivated, and able to sustain it, you're not a catalyst. And you wouldn't be watching this video. You wouldn't have got this far. Do this yourself. Don't wait for someone else. It doesn't matter whether you're on the tools, you're a TA, you're an apprentice. Anyone can do this stuff. I've been doing this stuff since I didn't realise until I read this book. Since I was little, since I was a little fella. Preparation, attitude, opportunity, action. It is as simple as that. At this point, there's 1-2 conversations going on. When I say you want to come and join the Catalyst Academy, you're either thinking,
you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Or you might have the Roy Kent thing going on, which is fine because, as I like to say, I'm an acquired taste.
Roy, you come to the club tonight?
Hold on, will you be there? Of course, bro. Then fuck no.
Regardless, take it, use it, made a great week because, and I'm going to start doing some videos on this very soon, start ranting about it. It's my number one rant around this time of year is New Year's resolutions. If you're really resolute about making a change, you ain't fucking waiting to New Year's Eve to make the change. Do it now. Whenever you watch this video, regardless of whether it's today, filming on Friday, 5th of December, when you see it, get stuck into it and start changing it today. Take it, use it, make it a great week, because you don't want to start 2026 like this. You don't want to start 2026 like this. I'm starting a new pilot program called 2026 Pre-Season Training. It's for leaders who want to get their team match fit before the whistle blows and the 2026 season kicks off. So if you're running a good company or a team and you want to hit 2026 in a sprint, this is your window right now to set it up. We'll custom build your 12-month plan and drop it into a Trello board so that you actually track it and use it. We'll resource it properly so the work actually gets done, and set you up a school community so that you're ready to get rhythm from day one. We'll be setting it all up using Goldrat's project rules of flow to mitigate the 12 causes of project failure, because that's exactly what this is and how you need to treat it as a project. And you'll also be learning to leverage AI where it counts to get the most impact. This isn't some paint by numbers cookie cutter course. It's pre-season training custom built for your business. There's only 10 spots and we'll have it wrapped up so that you're ready to run before we hit Christmas. DM me the words 2026 pre-season training and I'll send you all the details, because you really don't want to start 2026 like this.